Yo, what's up, everybody? If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you, this is one of the easiest ways to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. Second of all, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit the podcast right from your phone or computer. Third, Anchor will also distribute for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Then you can also make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Later.
Welcome to The Lion's Den with Seth, a podcast where progressive men and women can learn and teach each other the ways of the land. The Lion's Den is where royalty comes to council. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Seth.
Yep. It's me. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of The Lion's Den. Hopefully you're having a great Sunday, a great Memorial Day weekend and everything. But before we go into it, if you guys understand what we're talking about, this episode is betting on you. And with our guest and the topic, I want you guys to understand we will be talking about CBD and marijuana and that business. However, for those of you that are in the military, Air Force specifically, please keep in mind this is by no way asking you or promoting or partaking that you should partake in this activity. Understand it is illegal to take and to also invest in it. But now that we got that out the way, before we go into everybody, how the den goes and how we get it in, we got a special surprise for you all. We have a new addition to the Lion's Den, and we've listened to you all. There was comments. We had to sit down, have to have our own come to Jesus meeting. Like, okay, how are we going to do this? It finally happened, y'all. It finally happened. So on behalf of the Lion's Den and you, the viewers and the listeners, I would like to introduce the world famous, the infamous, the gorgeous, the whatever you want to call her, Mrs. Precious J, everybody.
I sure was gonna say you a DJ. I better get some applause sounds. Okay, thank you. Now, hey, what's going on, world? It's your girl, comedian Precious J, also known as Precious J Comedic Beast. I am the new addition to the Lion's Den. Okay, the lioness in the Lion's Den. What's up? So I'm excited to be a part of the team. I'm excited to contribute my female or woman point of view or perspective. And I hope the world is ready too, because this little sweet little face, it be some stuff coming out this mug. I'm trying to tell you. Scooby know all about it. Scoopster.
Yeah, they will. Hey, and so again, everybody, we got Miss Precious J. She's a part of the family, and we are happy that she is now. So we can kind of break up the monotony. But then, so we're about to pass it on to my man's Herm, Big Herm. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm good. Where's my applause at?
You don't get no damn applause, bro. Look, all right, look. No, but here's your applause. No, joking. What up, though?
Yo, check it out, man. Today's been a pretty good day, man. But the weather, though, man, it felt like it didn't know if it wanted to be hot and sunny or raining. It was like spots of rain, so it just kind of got me a little bit down and excited at the same time. So. But yeah, I'm here ready to get it on, man. And for this show, we got a special guest, somebody I actually grew up with, my boy Toro. He goes by Mac now. But I've known him my whole life as Toro, so that's kind of what I call him. So we grew up together in Clarksville, Tennessee. He is actually one of the cats I used to dunk on all the time. I think his basketball game got a little bit better now. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him do the little training videos and stuff like that. And I know he keeps me in mind when he does this. But This is my guy Toro, man. I'm excited for him to be here. Glad that you're here, man. I'm ready to get to talking with you, bro.
Welcome. So how you feeling, bro? How's everything?
I won't complain, man. I won't complain.
Right.
I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Listen, don't believe none of that nonsense Skip he was saying.
I'm lying. I didn't dunk on you and Ringo. Stop playing, Toro.
Hey, hold on, wait. Hey, but look, before you go out there, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all didn't hear that, I'm gonna make sure everybody heard it. Big Mac just called the infamous Herm Skipper. Okay, so listen, the next time, yeah, look at Precious' face, you're damn right, Skipper. So
like the peanut butter?
Yes.
Skippy? Or is that Skippy? That's Skippy. I don't know. Either way, it's bad.
Hey, so
anyway,
yeah, how you get that, Skipster?
Man, my dad told me that my mom's drunk friend saw me in the crib one day when I was an infant. Says, "Oh, he looked like a skipper," and that was my name.
Wait, hold on. Wait, like
that's the story that was told to me, man.
Wait.
I actually thought that was my real name till I got to the 4th grade. I didn't know that my name was.
How the hell do somebody look like a skipper?
Man, you asked a drunk Korean lady that. I don't know.
A skipper of what though? Like skip grade?
I don't know.
Like
Maybe I just looked like a extra active baby that was ready to skip around. I don't know. My mom said that story ain't true.
Was it Skippy or Skipper?
No, Skipper. I never went by Skippy.
Yeah.
People got smacked for calling me that.
I don't know that one is better than the other, but whatever you
I
like.
went by Skipper.
God. Okay. Well, look.
I was introduced, you know what I'm saying, as Skipper. So I didn't know your name was Herman until like yesterday.
Damn. You know what? Hey, and look, that happens. People be having these names. But listen, brother, hey, so man, about the hemp-spired, like, where did that come from, brother?
Oh, well, so I guess it came from, well, I shouldn't say I guess. It came from, just my transition, you know what I'm saying, out the military. For those, I guess, who don't know, I had served at some point. I know I don't look like it, but I was just in less than a year ago. And the way that, that I got out the military kind of birthed the inspiration to get into the, this particular industry that I'm in, and playing around with a few names, and trying to come up with something, that seemed appropriate, right? It wasn't too much, but definitely seemed appropriate and definitely hit home. Hence the name, or birth the name Hemp-spired. So,
Hemp-spired?
Yep, Hemp-spired.
Okay, that's pretty dope. What you got, Herm?
So, Toro, man, being that you was in the military, you didn't go straight from the military into this business. You had to stop as a high school teacher, correct?
Yeah.
And so you was a high school teacher at my high school, Kenwood High School. The one was in that rap video that y'all messing with me about.
Yo, hold on, listen. Yeah, I was going to ask if that was the one. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, first I want to say shout out to everybody that's watching right now. I see you. I see y'all. Hey, make sure y'all share this too so we can get some of this good information. But Herm is from Clarksville, right, Tennessee, and boy, we was joning each other, right? So those of y'all that know me, I'm from Detroit, and of course I'm always getting It's So Cold in the D. So what I did was I said, you know what, I'm tired of this bullshit. What we gonna do, we gonna start hunting everybody's worst rappers, right? And boy, Herm won. There was a brother.
No,
I ain't go get into it. That's your homie. But anyway, go ahead, man. So finish your point.
But the question, like, you went from the being in the military, a secure job,
right?
Teaching, a secure job. You know what I mean? It's security and benefits in both those positions.
Right.
What triggered you? You like, you know what? I'm not going to be satisfied with this. I need to step out on my own. What was it inside you to make you go ahead and make that jump?
Man, so, well, there was a few reasons, honestly. One, after getting into the school system, right, and kind of getting my feet wet and just learning how to be a civilian officially, and just seeing how it works, I realized that, education, or the education system, like it isn't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So if I chose to go back to it, right, or pursue it at a later time, then it would always be there. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things like, man, it's off in the distance. Now that I've touched it and grabbed it, I can move on to the next thing. You see what I'm saying? And so being an entrepreneur is something that was a late inspiration. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't anything that I really thought about doing coming up as a youth. It wasn't anything that really was even attractive to me. You know what I'm saying? But again, that was just my mindset. You know, I was kind of the same rat race as everyone else, you know, going to high school, graduate from high school, going to college, getting a degree, and then go get a job. Or, you know, leaving high school, go to the military, do whatever, and then get out and get a job. So that was, you know, I was kind of just conditioned to that. Well, and you know, I wanted to play ball. That was where I thought I was going to land, you know, being a pro ball player. But so getting away from that, you know, and becoming an entrepreneur, you know, I wish I would have started this, you know, a lot sooner. You know, I mean, even, you know, 15, 16 years old, you know what I'm saying? Just the empowerment that it gives you, and really taking a step, you know, out of your comfort zone, you know, taking that leap of faith, as we like to say, and going for it. You know, I have good work ethic. You know, I think I have the tools, right, to get things done, and I've been doing it for everybody else. So why not hustle for my last name?
There you go. Yo, you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because it's very, very important. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about betting on you and what that looks like. And we got Mac here with Hemp Inspired to help tell his story and what helped him to be the entrepreneur that he is today, and by walking away from comfortability, if you will. And there's individuals out there that's watching right now, like I got my homeboy, hey, G Flavor. I've been knowing him since Korea. He's been getting it in. Now we got the Flavors barbecue, and I mean, the list goes on. We got individuals that's in real estate and really doing it. But this show is specifically for those individuals that have been afraid, right? And even though there's individuals that's had a nice secure job, but they know that they're not being fed, right? They're not being fed there, and it's like something is missing, and I want more. Herm, what you got, bro?
Yeah, so you said something that resonated with me, is that entrepreneurship is not something that was always your ambition.
Right.
That when you was younger, you never thought about doing it. You had hoop dreams. I wish you would have made it so I could tell everybody I dunked on.
Man, shut up, bro.
But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like I did dunk on your ass. But anyway, back to the topic, man. Like, so what do you think it was that drove that? You said you wanted to hustle for your last name. What does that really mean for you? Because I'm in the same boat. Being an entrepreneur wasn't really something that I really thought about coming up. You know, I'm in the military, you know, the typical, man, I'll just be a GS afterwards. You know what I mean? But now in my mind, it's like, man, I want to get something for myself. So what was it, you know, what does hustling for your last name really mean for you?
That was a good question, bro. That was real good.
Yeah, that was. For me, hustling for my last name means that I will be able to take this business, right, and I will be able to pass it to my children, and whatever they choose to do with it is on them. But I have something that I can give to them. You know, when I was working in the school system, you know, I can't give them Clarksville, Montgomery County school system. When I was in the Air Force, I can't give them the government. You know, if I worked at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or whatever, I can't give that to them. You see what I'm saying? But when you own something, right, then you have the power, and you have really the ability to do whatever it is that you want to do, you know? And so giving it to them and being able to let them see how it works, and how you go from the grassroots to wherever, behind the scenes, you know, that's something that I feel as though is important. And I hope that, you know, it will inspire them to to not fall into the rat race and to take a chance on themselves, jump off that porch and do whatever. Again, if it's selling hair, if it's pumping lemonade, if it's, selling styrofoam cups, if it's open up a food truck and selling macaroni and cheese, what I'm saying? Whatever your lane is, find your thing and do you, but do you, you owe it to yourself. And especially, and I'm kind of going a little deeper, but, as a man of color, I personally feel that entrepreneurship is the only way to, freedom. You see what I'm saying?
Man, you know what? I'm glad you said that. And everyone that's on, it's in the Lion's Den, have children. You get what I mean? And we're looking past what we're doing to contribute to them. What are we doing to leave for them instead of damn bills? You dig what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a position where when I'm gone, my family got to do a GoFundMe just to send me off right. You dig what I'm saying? I want them to take whatever it is that I built, learn from it while I was doing it, but then also keep it going to the next level. Precious, what you got? Uh-oh. Go ahead. You still muted. There you go.
So I have a few questions. So I don't really think I missed it, but my first question is, why CBD specifically? Out of all the things that you could, decide to create your own business from, why that product specifically? That's my first question. Don't mute me yet, because I got my questions. But yeah, that's my first question.
So why CBD? Well, I believe in the compound, in the product of it, right? And how it can help people cope with chronic issues, insomnia, and depression, all type of things. We naturally have receptors to CBD. A lot of people don't know that. So it's not anything that you're putting in your body that shouldn't be there, or that your body isn't naturally going to receive, right? And I've never really been into like pharmaceutical drugs. Kind of coming up, my mother, she was a bit of a naturalist and things of that nature. And so, helping people to wean themselves off of those hard stuff that is bad for your kidneys. There's like a mile long of side effects, what I'm saying, that you... And
then they give you some more medication to stop those side effects from the other medication.
Exactly, yeah. And so that was part of it. The other part, the chess move in this is that, once Tennessee decriminalizes, marijuana for medical uses. I want to be, or I'm going to be, the first Black-owned,
wow,
in Clarksville. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats awesome with that, man. That's dope, man. And I'm glad that you thought about it and putting not your pockets in the forefront of your mind, but your legacy and also how to help the community. You dig? Well, so that's dope. What else you got, Precious?
So you kind of rolled over into one of my questions as far as the community goes, because I know you mentioned that, it's something that you want to pass down to your kids as far as creating some type of income for them and taking care of them and their families and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So one of my questions was, outside of your children, have you thought about the whole entrepreneurship part of what you got going on? Have you thought about creating some type of program or, some type of workshop maybe to pass your experiences on? Because you might be still learning. Everybody learns continuously all the time. But I'm saying, have you ever thought about creating some type of workshop or a program where maybe you can pass on what you learned and picked up on along the way, outside of your kids?
Yo, yeah, that's a great question, because there's individuals that have a hard time. You know what? I'm gonna just throw it out there before you answer that question, and Herm knows this. There was over in St. Louis, there was the Black Panthers was standing out in front of this Chinese food restaurant. Okay, they were standing outside there, and they was like, "Hey, we're closing you down until you either give money or tell us how you are contributing to the community," right? So in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is some bullshit. Like, I understand the thought process, but you guess what they're doing? How are they contributing to the community? They're giving you Chinese food. You eating it. You dig what I'm saying? So what else do you want them to do? And then flip it. What are you doing to give back to the community? So I'm saying that to say this: if there's things that we are doing, or if there's things that we want to build, are you thinking about, just to her point, teaching other individuals, or want to teach individuals how to get into that business and how to, widen their, their scope of understanding?
Right. Absolutely. Anybody who knows me personally, knows that I'm an educator, or at least I try to be, whether it's business, whether it's, anything, sports, I have a perspective, and I feel as though that, the perspective that I give, is sound, right, and everything, and it's for, it's for building, it's for culture building, it's for kingdom building, So to answer your question, Precious, I haven't laid down a foundation or the framework to put that into play, but along the way of me getting to where I'm at now, I've had several conversations with friends, with family, with my own children, about, stepping out, and building something. So I guess those informal workshops, have taken place, but my store, once it opens up, I plan to help bring people on, regardless if you're in this industry or not. But my plan is to bring people on, host symposiums, host workshops, so that way, we can build, what I'm saying, and bring extra and fresh perspective and ideas to the table, because I'm no guru, what I'm saying. It's, I can be the first to admit that, but what I am pretty good at is having the conversation, or being open to have a conversation, and bringing people, who are also willing, to have conversations and to share ideas and to share experiences. So that way we can take ourselves and our culture, to another.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. So look, I got a question. Let's go back 10 years. Now, when did you get out the military?
I got out the military about 8 months ago, September.
8 months ago. Okay, September. So take us down the path as to when you realized that what you were doing was no longer for you, right? In the military. What happened and what was that transition like?
Well, to be okay.
Yo, I went there. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Shit. Okay. Take the glasses off. No, keep them on, brother, because you look studious. You dig it? Go on, keep them on. Which is CBD. Yeah, hold it down.
To be like completely honest with you, I joined the military in order to kind of save my life, in a sense. Like it was going down some avenues to where I either would end up in jail or possibly dead, right? I was very young, already had 2 kids, my son and my daughter, freshly married, and just needed some stability. I never held a job longer than maybe a month, and I just needed some structure and some stability. Not saying that, not in the sense to where I didn't have like home training, but I needed to kind of establish myself as a young man who has a family, you know what I'm saying? And to be responsible, going out, playing ball, betting money on games and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like to pay for, Pampers or sneakers or stuff like that, or, like little hustles here and there, that wasn't going to get me, anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And having my two children at the time, I felt like, that probably any parent would feel like that, I owed them better. And it gave me time to figure out what it is I wanted to do. I knew that I could go in, I can get a paycheck, get a couple health benefits, and that's it. And so that's kind of how that got started. I never went in with the intentions on doing 20. I didn't even think that I was even going to stay in as long as I did. I figured I'd stay in long enough to hoop, maybe get a deal somewhere, and then roll. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you came to the Air Force for benefits and to try to get in the NBA. That's what that was.
Well, play overseas.
Yeah, because I mean, look at Skip over there. Look at Herms. It ain't happened for him, bro. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't happened. Look at him. See, he always talk about everybody he dunked on. He got to jump first.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Don't let this 260 pounds fool you, man. Bro. Back then I was 180 pounds slashing to the rims, man.
Where
you know what I'm saying? 160, 180 pounds, man. I was up there.
Yeah. Okay.
I got yearbook pictures. All right, man. Go ahead, Toro.
He believe you.
I was like 10 years. So I guess.
See, man, don't feed into this dude shit. You know he ain't. Come on, bro. Hey, listen, this the same fool that said he want to take Mike Tyson on in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but this nut said he can beat up the 54 years old Mike Tyson. I think he do it.
Don't put it in context.
You said today? Today. Okay. So he ain't talking about Iron Mike. He talking about putting it in today. So, this the type of nut we dealing with. But hold on, bro. Before you finish, I know Herm had a question. I had him waiting for a minute. What you got, Herm?
First, let me give a shout out to Chris in the comments talking shit. He's another person I dominated on the basketball court. But anyway, damn, man. Now I'm sitting here talking noise and forgot what I was going to ask him, man.
Because that's what happens. All you do is talk shit, dog. I don't get
no, hey.
Yo, he wanted to get me live on camera. Go ahead.
Toro, so no, I remember what I want to ask you. So you're just starting out in this business and you're pretty brand new, right? Yeah. And so I'm pretty sure that you're running into issues or running into problems or running into some things that you see as barriers and things that you got to overcome, right? Can you speak a little bit to some of those things that you might be facing that other people might face as a brand new person that's starting in the business?
Yeah. The biggest barrier, I guess, that I will say that everyone will run into is just taking that leap of faith, especially if you're coming from a secure, job or career. That's been the biggest. That's been one of the biggest things. And although I did it fairly quick, and it was a reason why I did it that way. And that reason is I didn't want to dwell too long on it, because then I probably would have talked myself out of it, or I would have let those fears or that doubt set in. So for me, I just pulled the trigger. But so that I would say is the number one thing. One is just having the courage and the faith that you can do it, right? And then secondly, I would say it's not for the faint of hearts. It isn't, unless you are fortunate enough to get into an industry or create an industry to where you're popping from the gate, then you're going to have a little bit of, or a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance, and let it grow, like truly let it grow. Another thing that I learned, and that I'm still learning, is not everybody who so there's different levels of support, and this is very important. And the reason why I say it's very important is because when I started off, although I was a little reluctant, I naturally thought that, man, everybody who knows my first and last name, they're going to jump on, just off the strength of it being me. Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't always the case. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not always the case. Some of my closest, folks, or, some of my closest friends, or whatever the case may be, if I'm keeping it, all the way 100, you know what I'm saying? They support me, but when you get into business, you learn that there are levels. Like the very bottom line of support is somebody saying, yo, I support you. You know what I'm saying? Or, yo, I'll pray for you, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Then the next level of support is, okay, hey, let me let me help you, you know what I'm saying, put the logistics together, you know what I'm saying, whether it's go run an errand, whether it's, you know, hey, I can go do this or do that, right? You know what I'm saying? I can make you, you know, maybe share this or share that or word of mouth, right? And then another level of support is someone who's actually willing to, whether or not they believe in your vision or whether or not they are wanting to be in that lane that you're in, but someone who's willing to actually, you know, write a check, you know what I'm saying, or spend their money, you know what I'm saying, into your, you know what I'm saying, into your business, or invest in your business, if you will, you know, whether that's buying product, like if you're, you know, a retailer, you know, or whether that's saying, hey, you know, you want to, you know, you found a store or something and you want to renovate it. Okay. You know, what are the costs? Okay. I may not be able to front everything, but here's something, you know, here's $50 to go get you a mirror or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn very quick. And for all the viewership that's out there, you know, my personal friends or family, like, it's not a knock against you, you know, because I'm not the type of person where it's going to affect me. You know, I didn't get into this, you know, solely depending upon the people who know me, you know what I'm saying? I got into it or I should say the success that I'm going to achieve isn't solely dependent upon the people that know me, right? Or know me personally.
I like that.
Yeah, it's my business is going to thrive because I'm gonna work at it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna make it thrive. So those few things I would say to anybody that's looking to going into business for themselves, like, kind of have that on the forefront of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't something that I even thought, that I even thought about. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now that I'm into it and I'm seeing it, it's like, wow. And it makes me reflect on the conversations that I've had with people who have been business owners for years. But because I wasn't able to see it through their set of lenses, I didn't understand what they were coming from. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man? Go ahead, Herm. Go ahead.
No, man, you talk about those levels of support, right, man? And it's mind-boggling how hard it is to get people just to even share your post.
You know what?
Hit the share button, man. Hit the damn share button for me, please.
It's so crazy. Like, share, a comment, a like. So that's why I say anybody who supports Hempspired, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. I really do. Whether it's sharing a post, whether it's thumbs up, whether it's buying a product, you know, I do appreciate it because you have to. I guess you have to understand that not everybody is just going to do it. But if you go into this with the expectation that, at least these people are going to do it, and then they don't, you know, that gut punch is going to hurt. I was on the phone with my cousin yesterday, literally, and we were talking about this because he's starting his own podcast, which is dope. You know, I'm gonna plug him real quick if y'all don't mind. Organized Chaos, Conversations with KJ. Please check him out. But we was talking about the same thing yesterday about how our friends or family, you know, who surf social media or whatever 24/7, right? And he was like, I can post something that's dumb, that has absolutely no substance whatsoever, and I'll get 100 clicks and 50 shares. But as soon as I put something up that shows that I'm trying to better myself or take something to the next level, he's like, it's crickets. You know what I'm saying? And he said that he had to kind of take a step back and not take it so personal, you know, because again, naturally he thought that, because everybody rock with KJ, everybody's going to rock with my movement.
Hold on.
And I kind of thought that too with Hempspired, like, everybody knows Mac, everybody rock with Mac, so everybody's going to be on this. Now, granted, you know, a lot of folks that I know are still active duty, and I get that they can't, you know, they have to kind of, you know, walk that fine line, but, you know, the other people and stuff like that. So it's tricky. It could be very tricky.
You know what? Hey, listen, man, you said so many things, man, with so many jewels. Hold on, I see you, Precious. Hold it, because I got to make a point, but then we also got to take a minute for our sponsors. But brother, I want to say thank you for that. And everybody that's listening to the Lions Den, we always appreciate you, because you got to realize we be talking crazy, not crazy like off the whim crazy, but we have discussions that's borderline uncomfortable. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us, even the shares, even if we got 4,000 individuals on that like us and that follow us. And if it's just 5 of y'all that share this, we love you still. It's all good, from getting the shirts, rocking the shirts, getting the anything, the mask, you know what I mean? If there's anything that we do that you appreciate and you show your appreciation, we appreciate that, right? Because to your point, brother, you made a lot of sense when you said there's levels to it, and there's levels to that actual commitment and support. Like, how do you do it? And so I ask everyone that's listening, not necessarily supporting the Lion's Den, but how are you supporting your family members? You feel me? How are you supporting those individuals that one day you say, I know you can do it, just go ahead and do it, and then when they're trying to do it, how are you really supporting them? All right. Now that's rhetorical. That's just something for you to think about. But what I'm about to do is let y'all know how we have individuals that support us. Hey, Mac, have you ever in your life heard of Kevlar's Grill?
Heard of who?
Oh, yep. You don't know, but you about to today. Listen, check it out. Kevlar's Grill, man. Listen, at the VFW, they've been getting it in with us since day one. They make the bombest food, bro, on this side of the Mississippi. And whoever think that ain't the truth, Precious don't say nothing. It's the truth, okay? Now, check it out. They have the gratitude boxes. They actually prepare food for first responders dealing with this COVID issue, right? They have the catering. They have great food with the chicken, shrimps, wings, and very Southern cooking meals, okay? Southern cooked meals. So their number is 618-416-5700. They deliver with Grubhub, 25-mile radius, okay? It's inside of the VFW, and they're located at the, like I said, inside the VFW, Scott VFW Post 4183. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen, not just that. We also have another sponsor, right? Shout out. Yes, to Upper Souls. Shout out to Upper Souls. Listen, y'all, Upper Souls, it's a brother that's really getting it in. He has those exclusive joints, okay? If you want the Jordan, 6s, 3s, I don't know. I don't rock them like that because I ain't got the bank. But our listeners do. Some of y'all do. Y'all sneakerheads. So please check him out. He's really getting in. If you want those exclusive shoes, and get them while they're hot. Sizes run from 6 to size 14. Okay. You got to get them. So that's Upper Souls. Check them out. They're on Instagram, and it's spelled UPPERSOLEZ. Can you dig it? Upper Souls. So going back, Precious J, what you got, man?
Let me unmute myself before I get to yapping. So, a couple of things. You know, I got to touch on the levels of support too. Me being a comedian, doing comedy, I've been doing comedy since 2012. Okay. And the level of support is so true, because like you said, you have those people at the bottom, not that we taking nothing away from them, because I still want you to be happy for me. So they be like, oh, that's good. But then you got those people who kind of seem like they want to support you, but it's you still doing that little comedy thing that you do.
That low key. You're like, hey, ain't you still a little DJ? Motherfucker. You know, I don't. Okay, go ahead.
Right. But basically they try to, and it's not that they don't care about what you're doing. It's just not as important to them. So they're looking at it like it's just some little thing that you do. You got me doing comedy. You got people who actually come to the shows and are there and are buy tickets. I got people that sometimes buy tickets and don't even come to shows. Yeah. But like you mentioned, as far as like social media goes, you would think that if I put on a show right now, that 1 million people would be there, okay? But because of social media, and this is another reason why I have to work on my whole social media lifestyle, I suppose, because, you know, I don't do the whole funny videos, and I don't be talking to myself all day on Instagram and stuff like that. But people keep trying to encourage me to do it. You should do it. You should do it. You should do it. And I have to get out of that old school way, because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, that's just a lazy way for you to support comedy. Like, if you really support me, come out to a show, buy a ticket. But that's my level. That's where I want them to be. So I'm saying all of that to say that it definitely is levels of support. But I think sometimes when people feel like they don't have it, they forget that some things aren't as important to other people as they are to you. I had to remember that when I started doing comedy. My family was like, oh, Lord, this girl, she a comedian now. Okay. Oh, okay. This is what she doing now. Oh, we go. They supported me. They came, and they don't come all the time because, your girl stay booked for the most part. But I'm saying, like, I think as entrepreneurs, as somebody who's pursuing anything outside of the norm or what their people in their space are doing, we have to learn to support ourselves. Like, you have to give your own push, and that's something that I struggle with, because it'd be 1,000 things that I want to do, and I have to like figure out how I'm gonna do it, when I'm gonna do it. So I applaud anybody who actually take those steps to, make their own business and things of that nature. But before Scooby mute me again, what do you tell people that say, because this day and age that we're living in, everybody's an entrepreneur, okay? Everybody's selling something. If it ain't lashes, well, now it's masks. Masks,
shut up.
clothes.
I know you hate. That's okay. It's tight though. They tight. But go ahead.
I ain't mad at it, because take advantage. Most definitely. My friend is about to start selling lingerie, and she said, I'm gonna have a photo shoot and they gonna wear masks. She got like lace masks and stuff like that. Like, people are really, I don't know. But I'm saying, what do you tell those?
They putting drawers on their face.
That's what it sounds like. That was the first thing,
in real life.
But you want to make sure the crotch ain't.
They might need a protector like that.
But don't have the crotch.
Stay focused. I'm saying, what do you tell those people? Scooby, shut up. Okay, so what do you tell those people who are like, man, everybody doing this. Why? If I do it, it ain't gonna make no difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? I already don't have people supporting the stuff I am doing, so I ain't gonna take that risk and not have people support me. What do you tell those people who are questioning what they're wanting to do?
I would just tell them to look at it from this perspective. Not saying that is right, but this is just the way my mind works. How many places have you been to and there was more than one fast food restaurant, like a Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, right? How many times have you been to a grocery store and you see 15 different types of breads or 15 different versions of whatever? You know what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't let that deter you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go right out here on Wilma Rudolph, and there's literally, like there's Chick-fil-A, and then there's a Zaxby's, 3 miles from each other. And then in between, there's so many other restaurants, or McDonald's right across the street from a Burger King. They both sell burgers, right? They both sell fries, but they both getting it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. To me, right? I came into this business. I was already 2 years behind the curve because I was still serving. When Trump had signed the Farm Act in 2018, I was still active duty. So I came to Clarksville. There's already 5 CBD hemp stores already established. They've already been here. They've made a name for themselves. They're on the Chamber of Commerce. They're in the whole. They're sitting at the table, right? And they're white. So I started the race already 5 steps behind, but I looked at it like, okay, I know my work ethic. I know what I can bring to the table, and so I did my homework, right? I went to each one, and kind of snooped around and had some conversation with folks. And then I would go back to the drawing board and I would just formulate, right? And I would put my own pieces together and everything like that. And at first I was like, man, okay, the market is a little saturated, but you know what? I'm gonna carve my own lane. just like I was telling you, Seth, when I was active duty, I didn't like, I would be a part of 5, 6, or the other stuff that everybody else do, but I didn't like doing what everybody else did. So I would create my own programs. You know what I'm saying? And I would get my name off or win awards off of something that didn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess that's what I would say. I hope I answered your question.
No, man. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And that makes so much sense. And before we go into some more questions, I do want to give a shout out to individuals that's watching right now, right? There's Miss Keisha. Hey, what's going on, Keisha? She made a great point. She's actually the one that created and helped design our mask, right? She said that there's a variety of breads in the bread aisle. How are you as an entrepreneur setting your products apart? And that's what it is. For example, outside of the podcast, first of all, it's a million different podcasts out there. How is the Lion's Den with Seth setting apart? Even me being an accountability speaker or a coach, there's so many different coaches. Like there's one on right now that's watching. Shout out to you. I see you out there, Todd Simmons, right? He get it in and he teaches. But I have my own lane because I have my own voice, and we can't.
Because you have me, man. Don't act like that. Because
anyway, let me finish. So no, you see what I'm saying? So, but the deal is that you can't be afraid, though. You cannot be afraid because you were born on the day that you were born as an individual, and you can't let outside circumstances get it. Listen, you think Chick-fil-A's is tripping on anybody else that's making a chicken sandwich? Really? Bro, they make more money than McDonald's, and they're closed on Sundays. Think about it. You feel me? But no, go ahead, Precious. What you got?
Scooby made me forget my question.
Yo, you got that notepad? You ain't write it down?
Nah, this was this was a conversation question. It had just came, but I already feel like y'all trying to put me in a little woman corner over here. And,
how we doing that?
With the whole, because everybody was unmuted and I was the only one muted, so I don't really know how I should feel about it. I see what I'm getting myself into, and it's cool. You hear me? It's cool. You hear me? Because I'm gonna come in with a Lioness Den shirt on, because y'all got
Lioness Den shirt on.
And that is how I get out of forgetting my question. I'm just joking. My question, one of my questions, because I have multiple. One of my questions is, I know you mentioned earlier, like ultimately you want to pass, the business down to your kids or your family. I mean, kind of that's always our goal. Especially if I don't know what your, how you grew up or what your background is like, but
wait, real quick, Precious. It's not that I want to pass this business down to them. It's the experience and the inspiration down to them. Like, my daughter, Brooklyn, she wants to get into hair, or she wants to get into something. So whatever it is, again, I don't care if it's selling lemonade, or lollipops, but
so you want to share the entrepreneurship part with them, just having their own and building their own.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So I was going to that, but you beat me. So that's what I was about to ask. Like, what more outside of having an income are you wanting to teach them with your experience? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when businesses are passed on to kids or family members or whomever, they, number one, don't care about the business as much as the person who started it. Number two, they don't really know how to maintain it. So along with saying, hey, I have this business, I've created it from the ground up, it's mine, now it's yours. What other things do you plan to, teach them or instill in them to help them maintain that business or go out and build their own and make their own? But you already answered it. So you said the experiences and all that good jazz. You ain't let me finish my question, but it's cool.
The experience, excuse me, I can't speak. The experience, the empowerment, and the mindset. I don't want my children to grow up thinking that they have to work for someone else. I want to leave them, with that mindset. I want to condition them. Like even now, I feel bad that I was pushing my middle child to go to college. I mean, she wants to go to school, but she's because that's what she wants to do. But even that saying, okay, hey, as soon as you get out of high school, you got to go to college, and you got to go to college. Well, we all know that there's so many people out here that are very successful, depending on your definition of success, that don't have a college degree. You know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying. So it's getting them to look beyond the status quo and the social norms that everyone else puts on them. And again, as people of color, it's true freedom. It's true freedom.
All right, go ahead, Herm. What you got, bro?
Toro, so I love your analogy about being room for everything. When you talked about the different breads in the aisle, man, I never thought about it that way. So tell us about your business and how do you plan to make it different? How do you plan to stand out with amongst the 5 stores that's already in Clarksville? What are you doing to make sure you stand out in your scene?
That's a good question, Skip. Well, I would say that when you shop with me, that you are getting, again, you are getting what you paid for. Like it's full transparency, and you're getting quality product. Like I refer to myself, or I refer to my business as like the Publix of CBD and hemp. Like my products are clean. A lot of them are gluten-free and vegan, non-GMO, all that stuff. So what you're putting into your body, again, is it going to, cause any undue stress on like your kidneys or your liver or anything like that? And ultimately, it's going to be safe for those who are in those professional fields who have urinalysis tests, random drug tests. You can rest easy knowing that if you had to take a drug test, that you would pass it. So that sense of security, along with the quality of products,